Peacock! G'day, it's Adam and welcome to another instant movie review. So tonight I caught the brand new film from first-time writer-director Mark Leonard Winter. This film is called The Rooster. What is it all about? Well, it follows Dan, who's played by Phoenix Ray, a young police officer coping with the death of his best friend Steve, played by Reese Mitchell. So Steve retreats into the woods, and unfortunately for poor Dan, that's exactly where he finds Steve's dead body. So he also there finds a reclusive hermit played by Hugo Weaving, who may or may not have some answers about how Steve was murdered. Or was he murdered? Or was something else in play? As I mentioned, this is from first-time writer-director Mark Leonard Winter. Now, Mark has worked quite extensively in the Australian film industry for a number of years, and him and his partner, Geraldine Hakewell, worked together as a producer on this. So this film really investigates the male psyche, mental health, sexual abuse, loss, grief, your place in the world, the meaning of life. It really delves deep into a lot of mental health issues. Mark Leonard Winter did suffer a lot from mental health, and he has very bravely put a lot of those things that he went through up on the big screen. Actually, at one stage, Mark was due to be starring as Dan in the very early stages, but decided to step away and take on the writing, directing duties. Now, obviously, to get Hugo Weaving in your film, you don't just put anything on the page and send it off to the bloke. You put something quite meaty on the page. Hugo Weaving has been an amazing staple in the Australian film industry for many, many years, and he does love this film industry. And really what has happened via a Q&A that I went to tonight, Mark and Geraldine both explained how Hugo is a massive advocate for Australian film and is not one for a lazy part. He loves to get something that really has got a bit of meat on the bone that he can really flesh out. And the interesting thing about the way that the director talked about directing Hugo Weaving is he said that he comes with no ego, and he comes with a willingness to want to be directed, and is a very giving actor, which is very, very important, I think, because it could always go the other way. You get a big star in your film and, you know, it all becomes an ego boost and about how showy they are. Now, very much Hugo Weaving's part as the hermit is a standout. I'd say this is probably one of the best performances that I've seen Hugo Weaving give ever. And he's been in some phenomenal films. The Interview really stands out as a film that I loved growing up. A really, really great taut thriller. Obviously great in things like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Obviously made his mark with The Matrix as well. He's been in some phenomenal films. But for me, this one really is a standout. It's just the little things, it's the little mannerisms, and I really wanted to hit this up when I spoke to Mark during the Q&A tonight, but it's even the way that he smokes a cigarette, smoking 2 cigarettes at once, inhaling and then drinking and then exhaling the cigarette afterwards. It's just those little strange little mannerisms that makes his character of the hermit both really interesting to want to spend time with, but also so scary and sinister that you don't want to be anywhere near him. You don't even want to be in the same postcode as this bloke because he is that unhinged. We also have a very interesting little side story that comes in quite late. I sort of felt like it was a bit of a late addition to the script to do with a missing persons whodunit type of thing. Weirdly enough, we get John Waters also, another amazing Australian actor who gets a couple of scenes in this as well. I didn't feel like his character or anything that really was there for him to do really brought a lot of weight or levity to what needed to happen moving forward. I think the mystery that we have hanging over our head might have been enough. I think The Rooster is a very important film, and I think it is also an extremely powerful motion picture, especially if you're a fan of Hugo Weaving. I think this is a must-see on your list of things to watch. While Hugo Weaving is amazing in this film, I think it was going to be really challenging for any other actor to stand up and play against him. I think Phoenix Ray does a pretty good job. At some stages, I really did feel like there is acting happening. I feel like there could have been a little bit more of a naturalistic performance instead of trying to raise to the level of Hugo Weaving. So that was probably the only thing that sort of fell down for me a little bit, but the setting is amazing. This film was actually shot pretty much on Geraldine and Mark's property out in about an hour and a half out from regional, or from Melbourne. Beautiful locations, beautifully shot. There's a really amazing score by Stephen Gregory in this because he did quite a phenomenal job. There's some really weird chanting. It's very eerie. It kind of, I'd almost felt like we were moving into, Midsommar type of territory with some of this stuff. It's quite unsettling, and I could almost hear it in my head as the film finished. It's really disconcerting, but it's very effective. So massive hats off to first-time writer-director Mark Leonard Winter for this, and to all the team, to Geraldine, to the entire team who put this together. Went hard, went fast, had no money. Geraldine was pregnant at the time when they were shooting. So this is a huge effort, and it's so nice to see an Australian film like this get the big screen accolades that it deserves. It won some ACTA awards, which is Australian Film Industry Awards here, and rightly so. So yeah, if you get a chance, do see The Rooster. It is definitely worth your time, and it's a great study into a phenomenal acting role from Mr. Hugo Weaving. All right, that is it for me for tonight. I hope you have the most amazing evening. Why not comment below? Tell me what your favourite Hugo Weaving role is. Maybe I've missed one. He's done so much. Maybe it's Priscilla. Maybe it's The Interview. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. Maybe it's The Matrix. But just let me know and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll catch you all next time here in my car.